So here's a video that shows you how assignment 2.4 ought to work when you're all done with it. I decided to make a video instead of writing several pages of description for this thing. What we got here is a little registration system for a college, for example, a registration app. So we have one page named Register here, worksheet, where you can pick the student in the course and then click on the button to register the person. Over here is the registrations worksheet, and when you register somebody for a class, it adds them as another row in this data table. So I already have a number of registrations that I've been working on as I've developed my app. And then there's this data tab over here, which has the list of courses and the list of students. I've got my name in here. I want you to put your name in place of mine and then sort the list. And just also notice that this area is named students and this area is named courses, so these two tables have names over top of them. In the registrations table, just by the way, I haven't shown you this before this semester, but if you click on B, I've actually given the entire B column the name registrations underscore students and the entire C column. How do you give a name like this? Well, instead of, we've been used to selecting a cell or selecting a range of cells and then typing a name up here, but you can also click on just the header and give a name to the entire column. That's going to be very handy in this example because when you process this list here for the purpose of searching for how many credit hours a student has already registered for and so on, it's nice to be able to do that because you don't know the size of this table. The number of rows will increase as you work. So just give you the heads up that these columns can be named like that. So back to the registration form. What we have here is a lookup from the student list over there in data, and I'm just going to pick myself off the list here to demo what happens when you have a student that already has a couple of registrations. So when I pick my name here, then down here in this registered hours field at the bottom, it shows that I have already registered for 15 hours. And if you come over here, you can see that I've got 4 and 3 and 4 and 4, and that sums up to 15 hours. So yes, I've already registered for 15. If I pick a different student here, Frank Olson, he's registered for only 4 hours, so you can see there's his entry there. So let's register Frank for some more. I'm going to come here and pick from a drop-down of the existing courses. So let's register Frank for British Literature. That course is 4 hours, so as I change the course here, this field, this label here shows you how many hours that is. It looked it up here in this lookup table here, so British Literature is 4. Look at canoeing, it's just 2 hours. If I pick canoeing here off the list, then it shows it's just 2 hours there. Let's register Frank for canoeing. So if I click on the register button here, then it'll hesitate for a minute, and when it's all done, I wind up back here and it cleared out the course field. Now, let's go back and look at Olson here. Now, and by the way, it says he's now registered for 6 hours. If I come back and look at his registration, here he is with canoeing added at the end of this list. So he has Calculus 1 and he has canoeing. Let's go add Calculus 2. So I drop this down and watch, I'll accidentally pick Calculus 1 here, and when I do, it says he's already registered for this class. So it looked in the table and found that he already had a record for Calculus 1, and it warned you he's already in this class. Well, let's register him for Calculus 2. That's a 3-hour course. He's registered for 6, so when I register him for this, he should now have a total of 9 hours. And there's the 9, and here's his other registration. Let's register him for a couple more classes too. Let's throw in compiler design, which is an excellent computer science class. That's 4 hours and 9. That should give him 13 when we're done. I'll register him for that. Here's the new record at the bottom for his compiler design entry. And finally, let's try something else. How about English 101? That's 3 hours. That'll give him 16. Let's try something that has 4 hours. How about Music Theory 1? Also a 3-hour class. What's a good class that has 4 hours? We did Compiler Design, Calc 1, American History to 1870. Watch what happens if I just select American History to 1870 from the list. Now, I get this message, and I know it's slightly cut off. I'll scroll to show it to you. Adding this course would cause this student, and I am trying to get it to fit in the screen, to overload. This message pops up only when the sum of this number plus that number exceeds 16. So what it's saying is this guy's got 13 hours. If you add a 4-hour course, he'll be on an overload, and he'll have more than 16. So this warning message I want you to display if the person picks a class that would drive them over 16 hours if you registered them. English 101 would not do that because it would give him exactly 16 hours. So if I register him for English 101, now he's at 16 hours full-time load, and he's sitting here. So that's what I want this assignment to do. And notice, by the way, one thing. When I click on the register button and actually do the registering, the screen does not flicker. There's something in the write-up that talks about how you can prevent that from happening. So that's the scoop on what this assignment should do.